Let's start with that breaking news from the Middle East, where hundreds of Hezbollah fighters have been injured by their communication devices exploding across Lebanon in what's being described as an unprecedented hostile act. Iran's ambassador to Lebanon is reported to have been among those affected. Now, let me just show you the moment that one pager exploded in a supermarket in Beirut. There you see people rushing away as the explosion happens in the foreground. Apparently, it was in a bag being carried by a man. And that was just one of many locations. Similar explosions have been reported in so many different parts of Lebanon, including Beirut and southern Lebanon. Other videos posted online show people with injuries, some of them really severe. Ambulances have been seen rushing through the southern suburbs of Beirut, a Hezbollah stronghold. Lebanon's health ministry has called on staff to report to hospitals and for people to donate blood. They also urged anyone with a pager to immediately discard it. It certainly does. And remember, not that long ago on July 30th, in fact, Israel admitted to assassinating someone called Fouad Shukr in the southern suburbs of Beirut, very close to where most of these explosions are concentrated. Shukr was a senior commander in Hezbollah, and he was killed in a precision drone strike while inside a building. Israel openly admitted responsibility for that strike. The following day, there was the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran, the political leader of Hamas, although Israel hasn't claimed responsibility for that one, but everyone assumes it was them. Hezbollah had vowed revenge after these assassinations, and there was a flurry of rocket fire from Hezbollah. They later said the score had been settled, at least for the time being. Before I ask you the next question, let me just put up on the screen again the video of one of the explosions, because you were describing how there were so many blasts. And there you see it again in the foreground, a bag explodes. You mentioned it wasn't a mobile phone, it was pagers. I'm reading here, quoted from 3 security sources talking to Reuters, saying that the pagers that were detonated were the latest model brought in by Hezbollah in recent months. So exactly as you said, these are devices they had only recently purchased, thinking they were using the safest option. Sure, it's extraordinary, almost unprecedented. I can't think of any case where so many personal devices exploded simultaneously like this. These were not mobile phones, they were pagers, which sounds very 20th century. But that's because when the Gaza war or conflict began after the October 7th massacre in southern Israel, Hezbollah ordered its people not to use mobile phones in case they were sabotaged. The reason for that goes back to January 1996, when a man called Yahya Ayash, who was known as the engineer, the chief bomb maker for Hamas, was assassinated by Shin Bet, Israeli intelligence, using an exploding mobile phone. So people have always been wary of mobile phones. What happened this afternoon was the almost simultaneous detonation of these devices, pagers that were used by hundreds of Hezbollah fighters, medics, officials, and others. Joining me now in the studio is our security correspondent, Frank Gardner. Frank, these are still early details, as this was first reported less than 2 hours ago. Could you take me through what we know so far? Unnamed security officials are saying that the pagers were hacked by Israel, though Israel has not commented. A Hezbollah official called it the biggest security breach the group has ever suffered.